Valor is knowing what has to be done and doing it regardless of the consequences. My name is Sergeant First Class Gerald Wolford. I'm a paratrooper originally from Oakland, Oregon. Currently assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division, and I received the Silver Star for gallantry in action during a battalion river crossing in As Samawah, Iraq. I was an average kid. My father was always patriotic. My mother was patriotic. You know, my family was. We didn't have a large military service, history in the family. But there was always the thought that we needed to serve, and I always felt that you needed to earn the right to enjoy everything we have in America.
On March 31st, 2003, Sergeant First Class Gerald Wolford was deployed as a heavy machine gun section leader in the lead U.S. Army infantry unit to reach the Euphrates River in As Samawah, Iraq.
I got through the firefight by relying on my men and knowing that they relied on me. That day on the river, I never asked my men to do anything without me. I never ordered them ahead of me, and they never hesitated.
Their mission was the reconnaissance of bridges along the entire crossing zone and to provide heavy machine gun fire support to infantry units as they prepared to assault across the Euphrates. Sergeant First Class Wolford and his men neutralized a number of enemy positions in the series of firefights. At one point, an enemy RPG was fired at his vehicle and impacted on the bridge just above their heads, showering them with concrete and shrapnel and injuring him and his men.
There's situations where average people, ordinary people, are put in to situations where they're faced with, extraordinary odds, and they overcome them. They overcome them because of teamwork, because of what they've learned, and because of the values that they hold themselves to. If our stories can inspire them to join the service, then that's great. But if our story can inspire them to succeed in life, then that's even better.
Sergeant First Class Wolford reacted quickly, organizing his team to use the vehicle for cover while providing suppressive fire and eliminating the RPG firing position. He identified 2 members of his unit who needed medical attention, transported them to the nearest medic, and then returned to the fight.
With or without the recognition of the Silver Star or anything that comes with that, when I led my men in Iraq that day on the Euphrates, I had 4 of my men who received Bronze Stars for valor, and that validated everything that I'd been taught.
After returning to the fight, Sergeant First Class Wolford remounted the Humvee with his gunner and continued to engage the enemy in his battalion's offensive along the Euphrates.
The children saw a definite change in me when I came back. We went through some stuff over there, and when I came back, I realized what was most important. It was the children, and it was my faith in God and making sure that my children are brought up right.
On May 4, 2005, Sergeant First Class Gerald Wolford received the Silver Star, one of the U.S. Army's most prestigious awards for valor in combat. He was honored for repeatedly exposing himself to hostile fire in order to ensure the success of the mission.
When I was growing up, my heroes were, first and foremost my dad. He sacrificed everything, to make sure that my sister and I were taken care of and to make sure my mom was taken care of. Now, people call me a hero, and instead of just a mentor to my children, like my father was, and now I'm a mentor to all kinds of people, and that now I'm their hero and I'm their mentor, and that's so honoring and so humbling to do that. When I was home on leave, my son and I visited my father's gravesite, and my son was crying because he never got a chance to meet my dad, and he told me that my dad would have been proud, and he told me that he was proud of me, and that's something that any father would go to tears over, is hearing his son say, "I'm proud of you, Dad." And that's when I knew that my dad was proud, is when I heard my son say it.